Very good morning, my dear students of class 12th. Now, please open page number 82. The story, the story is going on. The name of the story, already. A gorilla in the guest room, chapter number 7. You please open page number 82. Second paragraph. We kept Nandi in a separate cage. In one cage, Npongo was, and in another cage, Nandi. So we kept Nandi in a separate cage for 24 hours. So that, what was the reason for this? So that she could settle down. She could settle down. The cage was next to Npongo's, to enable her to see her future husband. As Nandi was brought here for mate of Npongo. So the cage was next to Npongo's to enable her to see her future husband, but she evinced, she showed as little interest in him. She did not show any interest in him as she evinced in us. As she evinced, she showed in us. If you tried to talk to her and looked directly at her face, her eyes would slide from side to side, meeting yours only for a sufficient length of time to judge what your next action might be, eventually deciding that the wire between herself and us rendered cause us comparatively harmless, and preferring not to look at us as she did turn her back. She had such a woebegone, deplorable, woe, shockingly bad. She had such a woebegone, frightened face that one longed to be able to pick her up and comfort her. But she had been too deeply hurt, and this was the last thing she would have appreciated. It would take us, I concluded roughly at least 6 months to gain her confidence, even with the example of the pro-human Npongo. The morning when we let her into the cage with Npongo was a red letter day. That was the important day, but fraught, loaded with anxiety. The morning when we let her into the cage, let Nandi, the morning when we let her into the cage, let Nandi into the cage with Npongo's was a red letter day, important day, but loaded with anxiety. He had by now become so well established and was such a fearfully extroverted character that he obviously considered he was the only gorilla in the world and all human beings were his friends. We did not know how he would react to Nandi's sullenness, gloominess, and anti-human attitude. Although for 24 hours he could see her in the cage alongside him. After 24 hours, he had shown absolutely no interest in her presence. Thus, when the great moment of introduction came, we stood by with buckets of water, brushes, nets, and long sticks, just in case the engagement party did not come up with the same romantic swing that one expects from reading women's magazines. When all was ready, we opened the shutters, and Nandi, looking thoroughly distrustful, sidled, walked in a shy way from the small cage into Npongo's comparatively palatial palace quarters. There she put her back to the wall and squinted her eyes, darting to and fro with a curiosity suspicious yet belligerent, hostile. Hostility there was, belligerent expression on her face. There was hostility on her face. Now that she was actually in the cage with Npongo, who was sitting up on a branch, watching her with the same expression of uninterested mistrust that he reserved for some new item half tied. We could see that she was very much smaller than he, in fact, only about half his size. They sat steadily contemplating, means to look at on all sides, each other for some minutes, while we on the other side of the wire did hasty checks to make sure that all our buckets of water and so on were easily accessible. Water, brushes should all be accessible to Nandi and Npongo. This was the critical moment. The two gorillas and ourselves were frozen into immobility, constant, immobile. To any spectator who did not know the circumstances, we would have appeared like one of the more bizarre, strange style, more bizarre of Madame Tussauds exhibit. To any spectator who did not know the circumstances, we would have appeared like one of the more bizarre of Madame Tussauds exhibits. Then Npongo stretched out a black hand with fingers like great sausages, clasped the wire, and rolled himself carefully to the ground. There he paused and examined a handful of sawdust, as thought it were the first time he had ever come across such a commodity. In a casual, swaggering manner, boastful, proud manner, he sauntered, he walked in a semicircle, which took him close to Nandi, and then, without looking at her, but with the utmost speed, full speed, he reached out a long, powerful arm, gripped a handful of her hair, and pulled it, then hurried along the perimeter of the cage as though nothing had happened. Nandi by nature has always been, and I fear will always be, a little slow in the uptake, and so Npongo was some 6 feet away before she realized what had happened. By then, the baring of her teeth and her grunt of indignation, anger were quite useless. What happened after that, you will study in my next video. Thank you so much, students.